beat the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom! Woo! Yes, sir. Baby.
And welcome to show number 84. Adam, dadgummit, we stomped on those sorry Clemson Tigers.
Smoked them, baby. Smoked them. Everything that I dreamed about when this game was first announced, what I imagined this Labor Day Saturday to be like, man, it happened. It happened. It came to fruition, man. A lot of things to talk about. I can't wait to share my thoughts on it. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on it, Clark. I know we've talked about it a lot yesterday, but still can't wait to revisit it again. Woke up this morning. It's always good to wake up on a Sunday morning. I mean, you do. You wake up on a Sunday morning either way if Georgia wins or loses. And thank the good Lord for life. Yeah. But it's always nice when you wake up. It's like, yeah, that happened yesterday. That's awesome. So that's what I did this morning as of the recording of this. We're recording the day after on Sunday, man. And still just kind of on that cloud, Clark. Just floating on that cloud, man. Beating an old-time historic rival. New football season kicking off. A lot of football just coming down the pipeline, man. And can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah. Exciting first week.
It sure was, Adam. And we've got a lot more to look forward to, including this week. We'll definitely talk about Tennessee Tech. We've got a scouting report, Adam, and here on Row 60, we do not overlook our FCS opponents, isn't that right?
No, we don't. Division I Ohio Valley FCS opponents at that, Clark. We do have everything that we need to know about the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, that you need to know about the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Kirby needs to know a whole lot more about the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles than we do here on Row 60, but just enough to feed the people, Clark, some information of we're kind of familiar with the opponent that we're facing this week, right? You know, and we're not overlooking the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. We're not looking towards Brock Vandergriff and Jamin Dumas-Johnson and a road trip to Lexington in 2 weeks. No,
good gosh, wait a second. That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's coming.
Or,
man.
I mean, 2 Saturdays from
it's
now.
here.
My gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's here. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's right here. No, we're not doing that. No. It's the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. And us as fans need to be focused on the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles.
And, Adam, you've got all your scouting report written out on
some facts about it. On a humble napkin note, we're going to talk about their head coach. I think first year at the helm. First year at the helm. The boosters up there in Cookeville, Tennessee, ran the last guy off, Clark. And,
okay.
A lot of promise for this guy. So we'll talk about him and what they kind of got going on up there in Cookeville. Yeah. But anyway, it's exciting. But, yeah, I mean, throat's a little bit sore, Clark. Yours is too. It always is this time of year when you're doing shows on a Sunday afternoon, man. I mean, it's just yesterday I just had a massive headache.
Yeah.
And I was seeing stars in the third quarter from yelling so loud.
You were.
Just not getting enough air up into the cranium, So
when you're high up in the 300 levels like we were, it's air's limited.
Good point, Clark. Didn't think about that, but that's true. That's a good point.
Well, we're going to talk about Georgia Clemson. We've got some game day atmosphere talking about that. Weekly concession stands report. Finally, back to the reports on the concession stands. Never disappointed in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We've got some Clark's fun facts.
Okay.
We're going to talk Georgia's offense and defense, and boy, it was fun. It was fun yesterday watching both of those units, especially in the second half. First half, a little shaky. We'll talk about it. And then, like I said, we'll preview Georgia versus Tennessee Tech and look at some more games this past week and then this upcoming week. So,
perfect.
Let me start with this, Adam. Our call-in show last Friday night was elite.
Elite. Everybody who participated in it called in. Tip of the hat to you, man. Y'all are what makes this program special, and I appreciate that. I mean, the enthusiasm was there. You could tell everybody was ready for some Georgia football, man, and cannot wait till the next one, which is, Clark, it'll be here before you know it. Against, go ahead and announce it probably when it's going to be.
Okay, yeah. I mean, definitely before Alabama. We like to save these for some of the bigger matchups and bigger games. Because we realize, a lot of y'all want to hear about that, and you're as anxious as we are about playing in some of these games. We don't play.
We don't play it. No,
but we're there,
attending,
and watching and supporting. So, Georgia, Alabama that Friday night. Don't know the exact day.
I think September 27th.
Yes, you're right, because the game's 28th, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
So a few weeks from now, we'll have another one. If you don't know what a live call-in show is, you're missing out, because this past Friday night was so much fun. We had the singular phone ringing off the hook.
3 hours of nothing but straight phone calls. So no hearing just me and Clark ramble back and forth for 3 hours. It was 3 hours of you, the listener, calling in and getting to hear from you. And that's what we love, is to hear what everybody is doing on game days, what everybody feels about how Georgia's going to be for the particular game and for the season and beyond and everything. So that's what's special about them. We're going to continue to do them every time we get the opportunity to before a big football game, Clark, and set the tone right Friday night.
Absolutely.
Sure did.
Yeah. That's a great way to kick off this weekend. 5 straight days of college football, too. I mean, man,
I love it.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is today for us.
Yep.
And then Monday. So a lot of football. We're here, people. Also want to talk about this right quick. Our Pick'em League.
Yeah.
I just want to make this announcement just in case anybody's confused out there. We had this every year. This happens. But I just want to make people aware we're picking against the spread. So if you pick some games and you're like, well, this team actually won the game, but it's counting it as wrong, we're picking against the spread. If you don't know what that means, just Google search it. But, this happens every year. Don't worry if that's one of you. Don't worry. We drop everyone's worst week at the end of the year, so it doesn't hurt you. So you kind of get a mulligan.
You got a mulligan. Just like when you go into the old tee box and you shank one out into the woods right there, man. You slice one. You get a mulligan. You get to put another ball on the tee. So remember that.
Adam, we need to hold a Rose 60 golf tournament.
I have not picked up a golf club in 6 years.
Yeah. But honestly, think about how much fun that would be.
Yeah. Let me rephrase. One of my buddies' bachelor's parties was the last time that I picked up a golf club, and he's now been married for 6 years and has baby number 2 on the way.
Okay.
So to put things in perspective about how often I play golf, but yes, 4 Row 60 and a tournament doing that, I will pick up another one for it.
That would be so much fun.
We'll do it.
Wait, my wheels are turning now. I'm going to think on this. I tell you what, if we do best ball, teams of 4, whatever. You, Will Snipes. Will Snipes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do need Will Snipes. Yeah, we did.
I mean, the guy played golf at Vandy, so he must be pretty good. But anyway.
That's right.
College show was great. Pick'em League's going good. So, Adam, let's jump into the game yesterday. Georgia versus Clemson. We had a great turnout for Georgia fans, just about as I expected. I'd say about 60%, 40%.
Yeah,
Georgia to Clemson.
That's right. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you could tell in pregame, too. Georgia fans were louder. They were rowdier, I should say. And before the game, they were rowdier, too. So you could definitely tell where the energy and the buzz was in this Georgia fan base. And they showed up and showed out. And it's always an indication when you're away from Sanford Stadium of how many Georgia fans are at a venue neutral site or on the road is when the band cranks up Krypton in the fourth quarter and everybody holds up their cell phone light. And when you see that, and then you might think, well, there might be some people just joining the crowd and holding up their cell phone light, Clark. But when they do the burn, you move the hands forward and you see the lights going, then those are all dogs here. And man, that stadium was full of them by then, and a lot of Clemson fans had done left by that point in time too.
Oh yeah, that was so sweet watching them. Yeah, I waved them goodbye. But honestly,
there's nothing better, Clark. Let me just say this real quick, than being somewhere, especially in an opponent's stadium, in their own house, right?
Yep.
And about midway through the third quarter, you start seeing them just file down the aisles.
Yeah.
Like a sea of orange usually is what it is. Wherever you're at, just piling towards the exit to go try to beat some traffic, Clark. I mean, it's great.
Well, I'll be honest.
Like it,
Yeah, I'll be honest. Speaking of traffic, those Clemson fans, they beat us by probably about an hour getting out of the stadium, and it probably benefited them because we sat in traffic.
We did
for about an hour.
We did a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta that day, but I didn't care to sit because I was so happy and jubilant about the win, Clark. I didn't care to sit in traffic. I mean, I kind of got a little bit of some road rage there at the end with just some idiots being idiots, And you have to be aggressive driving in Atlanta, and I did, and I probably got cussed and shot some birds with some of the driving moves I made, but I had to have a little Dale Earnhardt in me and cut some people off where we could get to 85 north. Clark. So,
Oh boy, I hope we weren't the only. Surely we weren't the only ones. If you were listening, you went to the game. Let us know if you got caught in traffic.
Just a little bit of traffic. Just a little bit of traffic.
It took us 3 hours to get home.
Hey, and our people from Dragon Con were there, Clark.
Yeah. Oh man, if we had a little bit more time, we would have interviewed the Dragon Con people because those people. They're an interesting breed, but you know what, Adam?
Go ahead.
They probably think we are an interesting breed.
Yeah, if they could have seen me roughly, I forgot, I don't know the exact time Saturday afternoon, but let's just say midway through the third quarter, what I was doing up in the upper deck of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a guy that's dressed like Zelda with elf ears and a plastic sword and eyeliner on, and tight pantyhose dressed like Zelda or something going to that convention, Clark. And if he would have saw what I was doing up in the upper level of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, he probably would have thought I was a weird individual, right? Because I'm getting fired up about 18 to 22-year-olds kicking and punting and passing the football around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes all kinds. The world goes round and around, So, I mean, that's something that, just be passionate about something, right?
Yep.
Right.
I love it,
Right.
honestly. I mean, yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. They just cause a lot of traffic every time we play out there for these kickoff games.
I don't.
You don't know.
That's a conversation for
another day.
But yeah, I mean, it takes all kinds.
A conversation for a different podcast.
That's
too.
right. That is a different podcast conversation one day.
Let's talk about some Georgia football, though.
That's right.
How about this? Let's go with a weekly concession stands report.
Hit it, baby.
All right,
Clark, give it to us.
I'm going to give you a couple of items I got, and I want to hear from you because you got some different
yeah.
things this time, I think.
I did.
So
I did.
I started off with some wings.
Okay.
And Adam, these wings were, in one word, elite.
Good.
As Kirby says, you're either elite or you're not.
Yeah.
I don't believe wings can just be good. They're either really good or they're really bad. And I haven't really had any really bad ones. So anyway, 9.4 on the wings.
Strong.
Out of 10.
Strong.
Yep.
Strong.
They had a little crisp to them.
Yeah. A little crunch.
Little
too.
crunch.
I like that.
In fact,
now, are you a drum guy or are you a
oh, now that's or flat.
flat? Yeah.
I don't discriminate against my chicken wings, but I prefer a drum.
Yeah,
a
me
lot
too.
easier
Man.
to eat.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Some people have this weird technique where they twist a flat and it removes one of the bones really easily. I don't know.
There's more meat on the drum, man.
Yeah, I think there's about the same, is there not?
I don't know. I feel like there's more meat on the drum. That's just me.
Yeah. Anyway, the buffalo sauce was the perfect amount of spiciness. It was great.
That's good.
Also, a huge fan of the souvenir cups that
Yeah.
are only $4
Awesome. Refillable,
and
too. by the
refillable.
way.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Good looking cup right there.
Yeah.
So-
go along with the other kickoff game cups that we got from there. That's going to be added to the collection. It was good, Clark. Mercedes-Benz Concession stands for a while now. If you've been listening to Row 60, you have heard how much we've hyped them up every time because it's warranted. It is the pinnacle of concessions, right?
Ooh.
The Georgia of concession venues and pro or collegiate level stadiums, concert venues, whatever. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that is the one thing Arthur Blank has done right. Besides find love that he runs Home Depot. I love Home Depot. Right, yeah. I love Milwaukee and Home Depot stuff. So, Milwaukee Tools and Home Depot. So I love that out of Arthur Blank for what he did there. Not a fan of him running the Falcons or whatever. Really, not a fan of Mercedes-Benz, the architecture of it. But the concessions, on the other hand, fabulous job on the pricing, the options that you get. My wife and my mother, and I think your wife. No, I don't think she did. Just no. It was my wife and mother got the hibachi.
Okay.
That's really good. Just like you go to the local Osaka or everybody's got a little Japan in there or a little China or a little
Tokyo.
Korea or a little Tokyo or something in their vicinity, right? Where you can get some hibachi and some teriyaki chicken. Just like that, you can get it there. That was good. I opted, Cart, to get some Brewster's ice cream.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Brewster's
Ice cream.
No Dippin' Dots?
I didn't see Dippin' Dots in my local proximity. So I just said maybe big game frozen dairy products.
Okay.
Big game frozen dairy products. So that's what we had to opt to, man. So cookies and cream, Brewster's ice cream. Brewster's makes a strong ice cream. It was good. I'll give it a 7.9 out of 10. Brewster's usually is 9.5 at storefront, but I don't know what goes into having to transfer Brewster's ice cream to the stadium and what goes into that. So I'll give them the nod on that, or let it slide a little bit.
Yeah,
but it was still good. Love again the refillable cups and everything. Ate a little bit of popcorn. Tyler Ville, who was there, gave me some popcorn, and it was good. Hot dogs, real quick. Russell Dye walked around the whole 200 level. Only one stand around section 205 was selling a dog.
Unbelievable.
That is unacceptable.
Wow.
That's one strike against the almighty Mercedes-Benz concession team is because they only have one place that you get a dog at. So shout out to Russell McKinley Dye for that report there on where to get a hot dog in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And the last thing I will say is another negative. Hate to end on a negative, but it is what it is. They cut off the fountain drink machines that you could get more drink in your refillable mug late in the game, but they don't cut off the ice. So they tease you a little bit, Clark. You go and you refill your mug thinking that, hey, I can get some more lemonade for the walk to the car, right? You know, you're jubilant, you're excited after the win. I'm going to, you know, your throat's sore. You're like, yeah, this is going to be good. I need some cold liquid going down my throat and esophagus there to kind of help with the soreness that's starting to set in after yelling for 4 quarters, right? So you go and you get ice, man, but then you go up to your selected drink of choice and they've cut them off. They've cut them off. You can't get them. You can still get ice, but you can't get the drinks. A lot of wasted ice because a lot of people had the same idea that went up, didn't know that you couldn't get the drink, but you can't get the ice. So the whole trough, you know, was covered in ice because people would get it and like, man, I can't get no liquid in this thing, so I just pour out the ice. So that's something that needs to be fixed, and not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
That's amazing. Adam, right quick about ice cream. Let's clarify. I think it is Dippin' Dots are still superior, right? If given the chance, you're going to have.
100%. I'm getting Dippin' Dots. Yeah, 100%.
We need to clarify that.
Let's not. Yeah. No.
We're not scratching big game Dippin' Dots.
No, big game Dippin' Dots. It just was not convinced. I wasn't able to find the location to get them. Yes. So I supplemented Brewster's ice cream in its place. So, but no, I don't get like Dippin' Dots at the county fair or on a Friday night with the family in July.
Right.
You know, I go get Brewster's ice cream on a Friday night after eating with the family in the middle of July, right? So, I mean, that's kind of what you do, but Dippin' Dots are football, right? When you think Dippin' Dots, you think football.
Absolutely.
Right? So, yeah, no, we're not, do not interpret it in any way that big game Dippin' Dots are being replaced.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
That's all you need.
Just a little disclaimer there for the people who were concerned because that would devastate some people.
No, don't need that.
Okay, also, last note on ice cream, just because I love ice cream.
I do love ice cream, too.
I love some ice cream.
Get some later on tonight.
Let me ask you, if you're going to the store, your local market, and you go to the frozen food aisle, and you're starting to look for ice cream, what brand are you going for?
Man, I like Mayfield cookies and cream, but you want to know what I think is the pinnacle?
What's that?
And a very underrated choice.
I think I know. Whoa. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Turkey Hill?
It wasn't Turkey Hill.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm a Bluebell man.
Bluebell, yes.
Bluebell.
Yeah.
And not only just the soft serve vanilla is stout, Clark, out of Bluebell. And the popular, do you remember the sleeves, the party packs?
Oh, yeah.
Great for children's birthday parties. Great for any gathering, you know, because if anybody just wants a little bit of something sweet, you get a cup of Bluebell, right? Great commercials. Great marketing and advertising. Love the cow on there. Let's let's let people know that your dairy product does come from a milk cow, right? So, I mean, I love how we're getting that farm to table type, marketing there. Hate Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah,
Don't agree with what they stand for as a company. But I guess that is good ice cream. We have to eat, but I don't support them.
Yeah.
But give me Bluebell.
Dang. Yeah, I had some. My mom and dad who live right beside us. They have a big thing of vanilla Bluebell. I've just been eating it for the past month. So I'm finally done with it.
You got to eat it out of a carton.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I do not know, and I eat it with a fork as well.
What?
Yeah. You can ask Kelsey. I just grab a tub, actually not a carton, a tub with a handle. Leave it in. It's so big you got to leave it in the freezer out in the garage, right? The ice box out in the garage, right? Yeah. And the freezer out there, and you just go grab the handle and you bring it in, just sit down and eat it with a fork. That's what I do. Who scoops it out actually has an ice cream scooper in the house and scoops it out into a bowl.
Yeah, nobody has one.
I understand if you got children, you're rewarding them if they eat all their greens and whatnot after supper, give them a scoop or two. But as a grown man, I'm going to get my tub out of the freezer and eat it, right?
I always keep a spoon in mine. I just leave the spoon just stuck in there and it freezes over with everything.
And it just takes
my wife hates me
trying to get it out too, because I want to eat it frozen. I want to. I try to get that spoon. The worst is when you get like a blizzard and you make the mistake of leaving the red plastic staple Dairy Queen spoon in there, and you snap it halfway down the blizzard. Then you gotta get a dang metal spoon to dig the thing out, to dig the remaining part of the red plastic.
That sounds like that's happened one too many times for you.
Impatience, man. It's going to happen, but you just like, we got there. I've left it on the counter to thaw out enough, and then boom, snap.
Oh my gosh. What in the world? How did we get to talking about this? This is a Georgia football podcast. Right. And we're 5 minutes in talking about ice cream.
All right. Let's shift gears.
Oh, it's amazing. All right. Hey, before the game, let's shout out this guy right here, Keaton Thomas.
Yeah. Big K to you.
Got to talk with him. And, we had a great time before pregame. He met us up in the nosebleeds with us and got to meet him finally. He's just became a patron. So shout out to him. We thank him so much for the support. We thank all of our Row 60 patrons for continuing to support us. You guys have made this thing so special. We have a very interesting group chat among us patrons. We talk about football. We talk about Adam not being in the chat and roasting him.
We're getting there.
You're not there to defend yourself.
That's right.
But we're going to get you in that eventually.
All right. That's
but hey, if you want to join, if you want to be a Row 60 patron, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/row60, or you can download the Patreon app and search Row 60. It's only $5 a month, and it helps us to travel to more games and to make more content for you guys.
Pay bills.
Yeah, pay a few bills. No, I'm not talking about personal, not our electric bills or anything.
That's
but
right.
the Row 60
Row
bills.
60 funds. That's right. That's right.
Hey, it takes gas and a lot of money to travel to some of these games, I'll be honest. But once again, thank y'all so much. We greatly appreciate it.
That's right.
All right. Clark's fun fact.
Hit that jingle, baby.
Do you know what that jingle's from, by the way?
Dun. I don't know. It sounds like it's from the elevator.
It's from Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Star Wars down at Disney World.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I hope they don't find me and sue me for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Copyright.
Yep.
All right. First fun fact. Georgia has won 40 straight regular season games.
Unbelievable.
40 straight.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe we're here?
You can't wrap your head around that. And who would have told you? You know, that weird game down in Jacksonville, the stadium's a quarter full. You had the DeJuan Mathis, Stetson getting hurt, Marcus Rosemary Jackson getting hurt. You leave that stadium and somebody tells you, hey, Adam Clark, you're going to sit on September 1st, 2024, talking about Georgia football not losing a regular season game yet, still.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. And only losing two actual games.
2 actual games. The same
crazy?
coach who is dormant right now in the coaching profession.
And who arguably is the greatest to ever do it.
So I mean, unreal what we're living in. We've talked about this for the past couple of years now, that you have to pinch yourself, right? But truly, it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better.
Okay, so
and you never want it to end. You never get tired of it.
So the past few years we've been saying pinch yourself.
Yeah.
At what point do we start saying slap yourself?
Yeah, I mean, yes,
like slap.
I think it's here now. I think it's here now. I mean, really, what happened in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the gap that was shown, what is between Georgia and Clemson now, and the thing, it doesn't look like it's slowing down for Georgia anytime soon, man. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it's slowing down for Georgia anytime soon.
Yeah.
This regular season streak, it's going to be hard to keep it going throughout the rest of this year. But, I mean, you can afford to lose a game, heck, maybe even 2, and still make the playoffs and make a run. With this type of roster, you got to feel like the most comfortable fan base in college football for chances of winning a national championship right now.
Yeah. And I don't want to under or devalue any future opponents we play, but, man, Clemson's one of the 4 best teams we'll play all year.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And we're already – I mean, we stomped them, right? So that's a good sign. We got to see where we're at from – Game 1, week 1, that's important.
It is.
Clemson hasn't scored more than 6 points or a touchdown since 2014.
Yeah, that right there in itself is a stat.
Wait, hold on.
Against Georgia.
Against Georgia.
That's right.
Sorry.
Against Georgia. I thought that would be great if they hadn't since 2014. Period. Yeah. But no, against Georgia. And, the last touchdown they had came in the second quarter against Georgia when they plugged in a freshman by the name of Deshaun Watson.
And Dabo
was it that touchdown pass over Ramit Wilson's shoulder? Was that
I
the
think
last
so,
one?
yeah.
That was the last touchdown.
And then it was towards the scoreboard,
yes,
right?
Yes, that was the last touchdown Clemson has scored against Georgia.
Wow.
Unbelievable, man. In the second quarter of the 14 game, obviously we have played them this year and in 2021, and they have not scored a touchdown, period, since that game in 2014. That is complete domination.
Mm-hmm. A literal decade.
Dabo Swinney has never scored a touchdown against Kirby Smart. His defense and 2 meetings and 8 quarters of football.
Yeah.
At Georgia, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, at Georgia. Yes.
Yeah.
Since the first game in 2021, I did a little research. Listen to this. So the first game in 2021, we played Clemson. Georgia has held opponents to 100 rushing yards or less in 29 different games.
Wow.
In 11 of those games, they held teams in 11 of those games, they held teams under 50 yards.
Wow.
And yesterday's Clemson, that counts for that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, just domination, man. That's what happens when you build an elite defense and a culture that's been there now for years. It's that we have performances like this. That's
yeah. And then my last fun fact, in the past 2 games against Clemson has only gained a combined 49 rushing yards.
Wow.
49 combined rushing yards. They've had 45 rushing attempts for a whopping 1.08 yards per carry. Y'all, that's atrocious on their part.
Culture. That's winning that's winning the trenches right there, and the difference in the culture and what is put into the trenches on both sides the past 2 meetings in the last 3 years since it's been between meetings, man.
Yeah.
And I saw another stat too, man. I'll just add to this that Dabo Swinney's been the head coach since 2008 at Clemson. And Saturday against Georgia was tied for the least amount of points that Clemson has scored in a ball game, and the lowest point scored, I guess you'd say,
under
Dabo
Dabo
Swinney. Yeah, and guess what the other one was?
2021 Clemson.
2021 is Georgia Clemson. Yeah, yeah. I mean, just owns them, owns them. Period.
Woo. Yeah, it was fun. We had a dominating performance defensively. I mean, I don't. There's nothing bad you can say about Georgia's performance this past Saturday in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Dang,
but
right.
we'll save defensive talk for a little bit. Let's talk about Georgia's offense now, Adam.
Yes, sir.
The first note I want to make, Clemson's front seven, unbelievable. Very special. They played very, very fast. A lot quicker than I thought they would.
Got to the perimeter and sideline to sideline quicker than I thought they would. Clark, we were talking about that, man. And, they came out. They were ready to play defensively. They were. They were.
I thought Mike Bobo, especially in the first half, was just really determined to run the ball between the tackles and to get it outside. But like you just said, I mean, their speed, linebackers, safeties, even their defensive line, getting out to the edge and locking it down, it was impressive. Georgia had a tough time, moving the ball on the ground, I would say, in the first half. I think it eased up a little bit in the second quarter. Yeah. Then the third and fourth quarter, I think that's where we just wore them down. Our offensive line.
Floodgates opened up.
Yeah, it really did. And we ran the ball down their throat pretty well in the second half.
Yeah, this is the difference in the culture, Clark. And I think people got sick of me saying that because that's what I just wanted to repeatedly say yesterday. Was what happened was, Clemson was prepared with the front, the defense. They've had a good defense. We talked about, the past few weeks leading up to this, the D-lines that they had back in the day when they won championships, man. And obviously it's not as good as it was then, but it's still solid. And it's still a solid tradition there to have good defensive linemen, man. And they can pitch that to recruits and get the guys that they want to develop there. And, they looked to lead against probably the best offensive line in the country. And Georgia's there in the first half. But, Clark, like you said, it's a 4-quarter game. And you got to get in the ring with Georgia for 60 minutes. You have to get in the ring with Kirby Smart and his staff and his players for 60 minutes. It's not one half, it's 60 minutes. And then when they get to go to the locker room, and Coach Bobo and then Schumann and everybody gets to make adjustments on each side of the football, man. And then you come in the second half and you don't counter them, it gets ugly. And that's what happens, man. And it also what happened was the strength and conditioning and the mindset and everything about when and that stuff that happened in the second half wasn't established just yesterday. They decided to do it in the halftime. That started last February. And it started years ago that a foundation and a culture that was built in Athens, Georgia is stronger and better and more successful than the foundation and the culture that was built by Dabo Swinney and Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spot on there, Adam.
And what Saturday said was 2021. Yeah, Dabo wanted to talk for years that that play was decided by, or that game was decided by one play, the Christopher Smith interception. One play is, and he even talked about it this past summer. I mean, still just let on, but he couldn't say that. He was speechless after Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, all he could say was, "We got our tails whooped, man."
And he actually said that.
And he actually said that. And I mean, it was a humbling experience for Dabo Swinney, I feel like. I mean, he might not, he admitted that, but, and for a lot of diehard Clemson fan bases, Iptay boosters, a very humbling experience and a very eye-opener to know that, hey, you were measured up against the best program in college football that resides in Athens, Georgia, and you got your tails whooped in the second half. Yeah, you can come out and throw some haymakers in the first half, man, and stick around. Still, they didn't jump out. They needed a fast start, Clark. Mm-hmm. Clemson needed a fast start. They couldn't connect on that fast start. Hung around in the ball game, but then when they went into the locker room And Kirby Smart and staff made their adjustments. And Kirby Smart taught that football team. And then when both of them came out, the mindset and the execution was just on a whole different level. And Clemson got their tails whooped. Dabo Swinney and his staff got just Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator, got just coached and out-coached in just circles around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the defense just dominated all day.
Absolutely.
Against Garrett Riley.
Yeah,
Garrett Riley cannot move the ball against Kirby Smart. No. Humans defense.
Let's do a little quick math. In the past 2 meetings, Garrett Riley
10 points in 8 quarters.
10 points in 8 quarters. Georgia, not that he has anything to do with this was 65 plus 34. A lot. 99.
Yeah. I mean, you look about it. Georgia's what? What's the 2 top ACC programs right now? Florida State and Clemson. As far as the past few years winning the conference. Georgia's played them their past 2 ball games, and they've outscored the ACC. What was it? Would be
63 to
it would be 97 to 6.
Yeah, you're right. 97 to 6 against the
Florida State and Clemson
ACC opponents. Yeah, a combined score.
So, I mean,
wow,
it's just different, man. It's different in Athens. Georgia does it different, and I mean,
what else can you say?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Mike Bobo, like I said, running the ball in the first half, I think it did pay off in the second half.
That's right.
We heard and saw the hype preseason, man. Nate Frazier is a beast, Adam. 11 carries, 83 yards, a touchdown, and a long rush of 40 yards. On his first touchdown, I don't know if you saw this, but he did the Gurley bow and then the Sony hands, jazz hands.
That's awesome, man.
I love that.
I love that. Just tip of the cap to the ones before him, man. And as a diehard Georgia fan, you love seeing that.
Yeah. And I saw him after plays too, and even going off to the sideline, man, he was fired up. I think this kid is hungry. He's ready to get his. And what's so unique about this situation is you still don't have your number 1 and 2 back ready to go.
That's true, man.
Obviously, Etienne didn't play yesterday. Rod Robinson's still out with a turf toe injury that had he had surgery on. So we don't even have our first 2.
Yeah, it was your third string and fourth string back and fifth string back carrying the load.
And we still did what we wanted to on the ground.
Yes, sir.
It's just amazing.
Once it finally opened up, boy, it opened up.
It sure did. Georgia rushed for a combined 169 yards on the ground.
Yes, sir.
I think we had 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Nate Frazier, and then another by, or were both of them by Nate Frazier?
Oh, Cash Jones got one.
Was that a run?
It was a run. Wasn't it a run?
I thought it was a pass, but maybe it was a run.
I think it was a run. I don't know. I could be wrong. Could be right. I can't remember.
It's okay.
Can't remember.
Yeah, to be fair, we have not seen the copy yet.
Yes, I have not been able to
I've just seen highlights.
So, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, we were just so giddy. We didn't know what was happening.
I had no idea what was going on. I was so elated.
Yeah. Bobo started to take, I think what he did in the second quarter and the third, fourth quarter was he just started taking what the defense was going to give him. I saw, the corners, Clemson's corners were playing about 5, 6, 7 yards off our receivers. I don't know if they could have manned up on us as much as they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But, we just start throwing curls, hitches, get guys out in space, just find a little crease and let them go. And nickel and dime them down the field. And I think that's what really kicked those – I think that's what really set up those deep balls later on in the game. In those big explosive plays, you kind of backed them off a little bit.
That's right, man. You saw really the second quarter of the offense start, and that motor starting to hum a little bit. I mean, and two, we're thinking it's the first game of the season. It's the first time these guys get to line up as a unit together for the 2024 season, lined up against somebody not in red and black practice jerseys with a whistle across from them, right? So you got to knock off some rust, Clark. I don't care who you are and what profession. If you take extended time off and then it's boom, you're back under the lights. You got to get it going a little bit and humming, and that's what they did. And when it just turned on, man. And another guy I want to shout out who we talked about in the preview, and somebody we all pull for as Georgia fans because we feel like he's doing it the right way. Arian Smith, Clark.
Absolutely.
Arian Smith, man, I think it's somebody that Coach Bobo has took a special interest in over the offseason, where we talked about that Mike Bobo has been working personally one-on-one with Arian Smith. The practice I went to, he had him out in the sidelines by himself, him and Bobo working on catching balls and stuff and different things. And I think it's somebody that's going to be implemented, be a big part of the offense this year, even more so. And I love seeing that. He had 5 targets yesterday and 5 catches.
Yep.
and a guy that you get the ball to in space, special things can happen. We saw it the first play of the game, the jet sweep. The end around. Hey, if he breaks that corner and he gets a block or two, man, look out. And that little bootleg where it looked like we were in a 12 personnel, Clark, where we had 2 tight ends. It looked like it was Lucky and Delp, I think, kind of a bootleg, kind of a out routes on 2 different levels. And then they just snuck Harry Smith right behind them on kind of a little wheel route on the sidelines and just dumped the ball off to him with no defenders within a few yards of him. And he was able to get a long gain on that. So it's just utilizing your weapons and the many different ones that we have and how we're having to replace historic guys like Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey, but the talent is there, and these guys are going to be making names for themselves here soon, man. But couldn't be more excited to see how big Arian Smith was in this offensive production. I didn't think that was going to be the case, man.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's going to be an integral part of this offense this year.
Good point, Adam. 5 receptions, 56 yards for Arian. I noticed a couple of times we put him in motion, and both times he got the football.
Yeah.
And I think what that does, if you're a defensive coordinator and you're looking at that, you're thinking, okay, he's probably going to get the football. Chances are, if he's put in motion, they're going to target this kid. Why? Because he's fast. And if you can start Arian Smith, if he can kind of get a head start, he gets some momentum going, it's hard to catch him off the edge, man.
It is, man.
I think that's something that future defense coordinators are going to have to game plan for. You got to look out for him. You got to look out for a guy like Dylan Bell, who's capable of doing the same exact thing.
Well, yeah. Well, Dylan Bell, I mean, he's special. You saw, and then they called the bogus. I thought it was a bogus offensive pass interference on Arian Smith.
Yeah.
When Dylan right before the half, when Carson just dumped that ball off Dylan Bell, and he just made something out of nothing, kind of in space right there, and got down into the in Clemson's. But then it was within the 15-yard line, wasn't it? Or so, and really could have scored right there before the half if that play wasn't negated. But yeah, Dylan Bell's going to be special. And thankfully, Clark, it was just cramps when he had to leave the game. But shoot, man, I mean, where we're at and where this wide receiver room is, and utilizing the transfer portal, Clark, in the right way, not being an Ole Miss or a Colorado or a Florida State, and building your whole team around the portal, making that your primary source of incoming players, but plugging in holes that you need to here or there. You go get London Humphreys, Clark. And, we got to apologize, man. We had a caller Friday night, and we said, I think we're going to see more of him in 25 take a bigger role. But shoot, no. Yesterday he had a couple of big catches, but he was plugged in for Dylan Bell, Clark.
Yeah.
Bell goes down, kind of some cramps, you plug in London Humphreys, man, and there you go.
Yeah. And
stepping up and making big plays. Next man up,
Yeah, he kicked it into another gear on that touchdown. A lot of speed from London Humphreys. 2 catches, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. And Adam, the thing I didn't remember this until today. He's just a sophomore.
Yeah. And he's 6'3".
Yeah.
He did not look 6'3".
Yeah.
In those, as far as just yesterday when he was running, did he not? I mean, he everybody wants to compare him to Ladd McConkey. Right. And I mean, I guess there's reasons why they want to compare it to him. There's elephant in the room why. Yeah. But I don't think even though both of them I think are going to be, obviously he's got a lot to live up to be Ladd, but he's very special. But he's 6'3". He's a bigger body guy, man. I mean, and I don't know. I just thought he did good when he came in, and both of those big receptions were 3rd down plays too.
Yeah, and that's promising. And you're right. You made a good point yesterday. I mean, early in the first half, we were thinking, man, it does kind of suck not to have Brock out here and obviously Ladd, because those were your guys you would throw it to on 3rd down and expect them to catch it, right, and get the sticks. But so that's kind of the question still. Who is going to take the place?
And I would love it for it to be multiple guys, Clark.
Right.
I mean, multiple guys you don't have just one safety valve like Stetson and Carson had and Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey, right? But you have multiple guys who can step up and make those big plays on 3rd down. And London Humphreys yesterday, his first game in the red and black, solidified that because those were 2 big 3rd down catches that he made, man. And yeah.
Another transfer, Adam, Colby Young is going to be a problem. Especially in the red zone. He had a big touchdown catch on a fade pass. It's a beautiful ball by Carson, but great catch by Colby Young. I think he's going to be another guy that could potentially step up in those 3rd down situations. I thought this year, to be honest with you, it'd be kind of more rah-rah.
Yeah.
Rah-rah's not with us anymore, but yeah, Colby Young.
Well, we're getting that big body receiver on the outside, man, that you can throw a fade up to when it's man-on-man coverage, when the defense is in the goal line, defense or so. And and Carson Beck's so good at throwing that ball, Clark. a little fade like that you got to have somebody like that. And we thought, last year we saw Ra do that a few times, especially like in the Kentucky game and all. But Kobe Young did just that, and that's special to have, man, when you could do that, and especially where there's been some times where Georgia struggled once they got into the red zone to punch it in for 7 in the past, but having that option that, hey, let's try this, let's throw it up to Kobe Young like we were able to do yesterday was beautiful, and I don't think that's going to be the last time we see that exact play this season when we get in the red zone.
Mm-hmm. Couple more notes here. Cash Jones had a great touchdown run, just insane balance and coordination to be able to scoot his way down that sideline and get in. We threw our imaginary $1 bills.
Yeah, we did.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Cash Jones, man, unreal. It's amazing to see what we have the talent just all the way around that you get down to your 5th string running back and he could do that. Just special. And think of the freshmen that played. We talked about Nate Frazier, how special he was. And that Jaw Jackson came in at left tackle, just a specimen of a human being, getting some playing time early on as a true freshman after just being on campus for a few months. Man, this freshman class is going to be special. I'm in a text group. We were talking about that. And we'll talk about more freshmen when we get on the defensive side of the football. But, a lot of young guys who are just going to keep getting better as the season progresses and are going to be household names by the end of the year.
I tell you what, Adam, Carson made some NFL-type plays yesterday. He threw a dart to London Humphreys across the middle on a dig route.
Yeah.
And I just turned to you. I was like, good gosh almighty. That kid is an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other times he stepped up in the pocket. It was collapsing. His pocket awareness, I keep saying this because it is just so good, but it's elite. His pocket awareness is elite. He stepped up when the pocket was collapsing, and he picked up some yards. And Adam, that's such an underrated thing for a pocket passing quarterback to be able to do is to find the sticks, get there. And I think both times may have been on 3rd down. I know one was where he got the first down with his legs.
Yeah.
And to have a quarterback be able to do that, especially one not known to.
That's right.
That just gives the defense coordinators more of a headache trying to stop him.
Oh, it does, man. How you spread the field out and then you have that gap and he sneaks to the A gap and there's nothing but green grass in front of him and then being able to just get down too.
Yeah.
Just slide.
It's like,
just
get
slide.
down,
Don't take a hit.
please.
Just slide, get down, pick up the yardage you need to, get your positive yardage, get past the sticks, man, and get down. And but no, you're right, Clark. Man, he was in complete command of the offense. Cool as a cucumber. A big difference in the composure of the quarterbacks on each sideline. Yesterday, you could tell Klubnik was just getting absolutely rattled there, and in the 3rd quarter, and Carson Beck all day, man, was just you could tell the confidence there, the swagger per se, and NFL guy and somebody who is just going to put up big numbers this year, man.
And all that made thanks to the offensive line. Adam, I think they played great. Pass pro looked really good, and I'm telling you, that defensive front might be the best. I would argue it is the best we'll play all season. And they held their own. Only 1 sack. And, people would argue with me, I didn't play that great in the first half. Well, of course, guys, because sometimes you just line up against some beasts. And Clemson, as much as I hate to admit it, they've got some dudes on that defensive line. Sometimes it's not about our offensive line performing bad. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat and give the other team credit.
You're just getting whooped. You make adjustments like they did. I thought pass pro was good all day.
Yeah.
I thought the run blocking, obviously, like you talked about, it was because there's just guys who are just that quick and in the backfield, man. And sometimes you just get your tail handed to you on some plays. But, you may lose the battle, but you win the war at the end of the day.
Right.
And I feel like this offensive line that we've seen at Georgia that's been, end of the year great offensive lines. How many times, Clark, have we just said, man, this offensive lines came out week 1 just firing on all cylinders, just gelled, the right rotations in there, right? I remember multiple years, it's a few games down there until you say, oh, this offensive line. Even when you're playing opponents that not up to Clemson's caliber of a defensive line, right? It takes time for these lines, I feel like, to gel and really get to your elite performance level. Yeah. And everything I saw out of Georgia's offensive line, especially going in the second half, makes me think they're going to continue to get even better. Hopefully the injury bug don't bite, and you have this rotation of guys in there, and you can keep them there all year, and they're just going to keep getting better every week and be in the year as a Joe Moore Award winners, I feel like.
For sure. 34 points, 278 yards passing, 0 interceptions, 2 touchdowns through the air. And then, like I said, rush for 169 yards with 2 touchdowns. So great performance by our offense. Gets a very stout.
Yeah.
Clemson defense. God, I don't know. Were they that stout? I mean, they were good.
Well, they were good. I mean, the thing about the difference in Clemson and Georgia and now is they got some good first wave of guys. I feel like, but very thin when you start when you start feeling it and that stamina kind of kicks in a little bit. And the other guys more prepared than you are lined up across from you, and you're having to sub in guys. That's when they started getting whooped. 100%. You could tell. Probably be fine for the ACC play.
Yeah.
Probably a good line for the ACC.
Not in the
play,
SEC, though, baby.
That's right. But no.
Well, moving on to Georgia's defense here. KJ Bolden, Adam, out of the gate.
Yeah.
Looks special.
Yeah. I mean, KJ Bolden's a guy we've talked about since long before time. I mean, you get a kid out of Buford for the first, it feels like, and first in many years, and then he comes in, and Kirby Smart's talking about he could play from day one. That he's already ahead of Malachi Starks, where Malachi was at when he was a true freshman, and we all know what Malachi Starks has been the past 2 years and going into this third year. And he had the most snaps of anybody on the defense side of the football yesterday.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy. I mean, he's already ready. He's already just fly. I love his downhill speed, Clark. Like when you get a running back that gets out on the edge of the perimeter, how he's able already just coming out of high school, the angles he's taking to get to getting out of that third level to come down and make a tackle.
And I love, because we need a guy like him to replace a Javon Bullard that will come down and just make
stick your head. Yeah, not scared of contact, man. Not scared of getting taking on a lineman head on, shedding a block or whatever, And I mean, just getting down there and sticking your hat into it and making a hit, man.
Yeah.
And that's what KJ does.
He took a shot at that Brenningstool guy, the tight end.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, the size difference is amazing, but KJ's not afraid, man. That kid's a dog.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
And to be clear, I think the reason he played so much yesterday, Jonel Guaro was hurt.
Yeah, at the start.
Which I don't think anybody expected that.
Nobody knew that. I mean, that was very,
Yeah, they kept that under the wraps. Hopefully it's not super severe.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about what's going on there.
Yeah, so they took Malachi, put him at that star position. You had Dan Jackson and then KJ as your safeties. Yeah. So, we're kind of wondering who actually is going to be starting in place of where Javon was last year. Is it going to be KJ? Is it going to be Ja'Cory Thomas? Both of them played yesterday. I thought everybody played well.
And Ja'Cory played some star yesterday.
He did.
And the thing about it is when you know a DB plays good is when you can't really say what he did.
Yeah.
Unless, obviously unless there's an interception like Malachi had. But when you don't know like what Daniel Harris or Julian Humphrey did, man, I can't remember. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing,
100%.
So, because that means they're doing their job and the ball's not going towards them. You're not really. So it's. I thought the secondary did great. I love how you can just plug and play different people, Clark. Like you talked about, you can put Malachi Starks at star. Love having that option because a lot of people can say that's almost one. It's definitely the most important spot I think in the secondary. And I love how Dan Jackson is able to play that deep safety center field role. He's done it for a while now, a veteran at it, and I thought he did real good, Clark. Dan, one thing we got to shout out Dan Jackson on this
100%.
podcast. Early in the game, big third down play. I think it was third and long. Clemson completed a intermediate pass, and I forgot who it was, tight end or receiver. Clemson tight end or wide receiver was about 1 yard from the first down marker, and Dan Jackson came downhill and just
out of nowhere
blistered him, stoned him right there to make it 4th and 1, and Clemson of course punted the football after that. But a hit that he easily, if you don't just come in there and lay him out, he's falling over and getting that extra yard to move the chains, man. But Dan Jackson just came in there, perfect, nice form tackle, stoned him, man, and kept it, 1 yard short of the marker.
Dan, I'm going to use Kirk Herbstreit's one of his favorite words. Dan is very cerebral.
Cerebral.
The kid is smart.
He is.
And he knows where to be on the field. He's never been a liability. He has been consistent in his play.
Never.
We love Dan Jackson.
We love Dan Jackson, man. And that's what you got to have is somebody like that in the secondary who knows, especially somebody playing that center field spot, Clark. You got to have somebody who knows their assignments because that's somebody, if you blow coverage, man,
it's over.
The offense is going to take the cap off of it with a shot downfield. That's why that position is so important. And it's so special and important that people don't talk about enough is having a veteran guy like Dan Jackson that's capable of being back there too. I mean, I love the mix of young talent, KJ Bolden. Malachi Starks, the best safety in America. more so than Caleb Downs at Ohio State.
100%.
100%. The best safety in America, and then a veteran guy who's just smart and fundamental and just not a liability whatsoever in Dan Jackson you can plug in there too. Yeah. And, I mean, that's one thing, obviously, we talked about that the other night is as long as Kirby Smart's in Athens, Georgia, you're not going to worry about the DB room.
100%. I think we got some pressure on Klubnik yesterday. We just couldn't get home. And, you know, I think that has a lot to do with Clemson's offensive line. I don't know if they played that bad. I
definitely
think it's kind of stalemate. Yeah, they definitely improved from years past. There's no doubt about that.
But definitely we made them feel uncomfortable, you know, and rush some throws and stuff. Jalen Walker's a stud.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Love seeing Damon Wilson get some snaps on the outside as well. I think he's going to continue to get more as the season progresses. But Jalen Walker's a stud. Michael Williams, man, the whole second level is just unreal. Mm-hmm. Unreal we talked about, man.
Yeah, we saw Jalen Walker move kind of inside. He was playing a lot of inside linebacker. We saw a lot of rotation there. And I just want to say this, Adam. Jalen Walker, Smile Munden, Raylan Wilson, C.J. Allen, that is an absolutely insane lineup to have in your inside linebacker room. Throw in freshman Justin Williams, Chris Cole. This is the best inside linebacker room Glenn Schumann has ever had at the University of Georgia.
Chris Cole looks like a stud. The practice that I went to, just looking at him, was like, oh my gosh, man. I mean, like you said, you go down the list and there's just freaks there, man. And I love how we rotate. Smile Munden honestly had his best game as from like you know how PFF grades him.
Yeah.
Best FBS game that he's had while at University of Georgia.
Really?
Graded out the highest he ever has yesterday.
Wow.
So yeah, and I mean Raylan Wilson and CJ Allen, a lot of promise there, man. And yeah, and then the guys on the outside as well. It's an embarrassment of riches. We talked about it. We're just gonna hear that more and more this season, I feel like.
I mean, this is what good recruiting does for you right here, people. Just golly,
I think the defensive line looks a step above where they were last year.
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, that's one place we can't have the injury bug bite like it seems like it has with Warren Brinson. Don't know about him, man, but you know, Stackhouse kind of got shook up a little bit, but I think he's going to be okay. You know, and Xavier McLeod was not playing yesterday, so you got Aguero and McLeod not playing. Two guys that will contribute to this Georgia defense at their respective positions were on the field yesterday. So I can't wait to see if McLeod gets back, what kind of impact he has on the D-line rotation, man, and get some of these younger guys in there and plugging them in. But I feel good. I feel better about the defensive line than I did last year.
Yeah, Kristen Miller looked good too.
Oh, Kristen Miller, yeah,
he made some plays.
Gonna have to keep him healthy, get Jordan Hall back, man, and yeah, I think it could be another special unit. And again, we don't need to compare them to 2021, 2022.
That's so unfair.
It's unfair to them, but this is still going to be a special group, I feel like. And can be good, and 100%. Definitely better than what they were last year, I feel like.
Chaz Chambliss made some plays. Michael Williams, man, starting to look a little bit more like Nolan to me with how he sort of sets the edge. And then also, I saw this from Chaz and Michael several times yesterday. You know, Clemson was trying this bootleg, you know, backside, try to hit somebody, get out on the edge kind of thing. They stayed at home. Yeah. They read. They did their job. And that's what good coached football teams do. They do their jobs, and they're smart, and they don't get sucked in to play action pass. And they don't go, you know, chasing stuff they're not supposed to chase. They're smart. And I was impressed by both of those guys yesterday, Chaz and Michael, for just doing their job and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, Clark, you know, Clemson crossed the 50 two times yesterday.
That's it?
I think it was two times.
I know it was once, but.
Two times, and one of them, of course, was an insane catch by the tight end where Dalen Everett had good coverage and everything. But one play in particular when they kind of gotten closer into the red zone and Georgia kind of stoned them there was Michael Williams, where you talked about that eye discipline, where it was a little bit of a boot that if he didn't stay at home, Cade Klubnik would have walked in the end zone. I felt like. So yeah, I mean, just that being, you know, week one already, just that focus in, it's just good coaching and just elite playmaking too, and you combine them two, you're winning national championships, man. That's what we've had in Athens. But yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad
and that play you're talking about, that was a huge stop for our defense, because if you score there, it's only I think it's a 13-7 game. I mean, Georgia's, you know, it makes it a little bit closer.
Right.
So great job by our defense. At corner yesterday, we had Dalen Everett, and you saw some Julian Humphrey. You also saw some Daniel Harris.
Yeah, man.
What you think about them?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Dalen had some. I think it had one big play against him, but I honestly thought it was just a great catch after thinking about it a little bit that Everett was there in position. And I just think, Dalen Everett is going to be good this year. I really do think that he's a special talent. I know people are streaming thinking, knows him, but I think he's going to be the next great Georgia cornerback in the line of, you always have that one solid guy. You think about you had your Ringo, then your Kamari Laster, and then you're grooming the guy to step, to step in and be CB1, right? And then you're going to have Daniel Harris and Julian Humphrey rotate in. And I mean, cornerbacks again, it's not a position under Kirby Smart that I'm ever going to be concerned about.
Yeah.
And again, they just proved that, and we'll see when they play against offenses with a little bit better receiver room than what Clemson has. But I think they're going to be solid and fine again.
Yeah. Justin Williams, he got some playing time late, man. Do you remember this? He shot right through the A gap and murdered Phil Moffitt.
Just a stud. Another guy is going to be hard to keep.
On the field? I know. What do you do?
This freshman class is unreal. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Golly.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, it is absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Jalen Walker played great. I know we already talked about him, but he made a couple of plays from the backside. He's just got so much speed, and his ability to tackle is really good. So 6 tackles, and he had 1.5 sacks. He was actually our leading tackler. I'm almost positive.
And then you had old Joseph Jonah Ajanya. I don't know how to say his name. Number 99, big number 99, freshman defensive tackle. He got some playing time too, man. Yeah. So, I mean, these guys are just
special.
Yeah. What all can you say, man? It's elite again. It's another elite team in Athens.
There's literally no negative.
And the defense is just so fun to watch, especially. And I hope everybody's a football fan like me. I love seeing defensive just performances. I don't want to see 57 to 61 type games. I don't want to see just offenses going back and forth slinging the ball downfield. I want to see my team's defense smother the opposing offense, man.
Well, that's what we did yesterday. We held Clemson to 47 rushing yards, 142 passing yards, grand total 189 yards.
I never thought that because the last time we played Clemson in Charlotte, that kind of catapulted that 2021 defense, that historic defense. Everybody kind of points back to that night being the catalyst to getting them going that year and just the dominate performance that they had in Charlotte that night. I think Clemson, that was 180 yards of total offense Clemson had that night. And then this night,
9 yards better.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just puts it in perspective of what this defense did against Clemson. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be as elite as the 2021 defense. Don't hear me out on that, but just how special of a performance this was by this Georgia defensive unit to open the year again. And, you play like that throughout the year, you're going to win a championship.
100%. I've said 100% like 8 times.
But, I mean, it's true. What else to say?
It's not 95%. It's 100%.
It's 100%.
Last thing I want to mention about defense, Malachi's interception, y'all. What in the world? How do you contort your body to make that kind of a play? Not once,
Did you feel
but
like you were having
twice.
deja vu?
Yes.
Did it look just like the one he picked off against Oregon in that same venue 2 years earlier?
And the funniest thing about it was on the opposite side of the field. I'm not talking about on the opposite of the goal line. I'm saying, like, it was the same spot of the field, just the other sideline.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I immediately just had a flashback to that when he picked that ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on here. Georgia's special teams. I'm going to say this, Adam. I'm going to put it in stone right here. Anthony Evans is going to house one this year.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then we'll know that I am cursing these punt returners because I also said Kamari Laster was going to get one all those years. I said it 2 years. Sorry, not Kamari Laster. Kearis Jackson.
Oh, Kearis Jackson.
Yes. Sorry. I always said Kearis Jackson was going to do it. I said it for 2 straight years.
You did. Yeah, definitely.
So if Anthony Evans does not take one to the crib this year, I'm going to know I'm just cursing these guys. Right. I'm not going to say it any further. But I really do believe this guy is going to house one. He's got a lot of speed, and can't wait to see him. We didn't really see him play much, receiver or anything. Maybe he's not quite there yet, but I know I'm sure he'll be in the rotation at some point. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, special teams played good, and then Woodring made a 30-yarder and nailed a 55-yarder.
Well, I mean, yeah, huge, especially to go up 6-0 in the half to get your first points of the year. You call on Peyton Woodard, and he goes 2 for 2 field goals. Sophomore year, just very solid. Brett Thorson, Clark, every time he was asked to punt, did exactly what he needed to do, pin Clemson deep. I don't think we talk about enough, and we haven't yet this season, how special our kicking game is. This elite too. It's elite too. We talk about how good Carson Beck and this offense will be, how elite another Georgia Kirby Smart defense will be. But this punter and this kicker is elite too. Mm-hmm. And it was on display yesterday from both of them.
Yeah, I mean,
they're weapons, man. They're weapons.
Every time Thorson kicks it too or punts it, it looks so effortless. The ball just soars through the air like 70-something yards.
Brett Thorson appreciation comment right here.
Yeah.
Love it.
We love you, Peyton Thorson. Our Aussie punters are undefeated.
Peyton Woodard.
Did I just say Peyton Woodard?
Peyton Thorson. He said Peyton Thorson.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. We're it's been a weekend. Been a weekend. Been a good time. Been a good time. But yeah, kickers solid, elite. Everything's elite.
Yep. Well, the only thing that was not elite yesterday.
What was not elite? Please tell me what was not elite.
The one thing.
Okay.
7 penalties for 70 yards. And I'll be honest. Yeah, it's first game. I'll be honest though. I don't think a lot of those were correctly called. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to blame the refs or anything, but I am.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, you're a fan. You're a fan. It's okay to do that. You know, you're not. Speak. You are not affiliated with the Georgia football program. I mean, you can say it. We can say it on the podium that we have right here at Row 60. We can be homers and we can talk about the refs all we want to.
Yeah. It's also huge to be able to get our entire second team some snaps yesterday. That was awesome.
I love that. That's when you know you're rolling.
Yeah. And then I'm going to end with this, and then we'll move on here. Kirby said, to me, it feels like a playoff game, talking about this past Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to try to assess where you are as a team. No longer do you have to win every game because of the expanded playoff, but you do want to be playing your best at the end of the year. One of the best ways to do that is to get quality wins. So
that's right.
We got a good foundation laid for this season.
Yeah.
An impressive win against a very good Clemson team. I actually believe this Clemson team, and I think you said this too yesterday, they'll probably win the ACC.
Them or Miami. If Miami keeps playing like they did yesterday, then they'll be there. But I think it'll be Miami and Clemson in the ACC championship. But I mean, Clemson looked strong in the first half on the defensive front and everything. But yesterday, Clark, it was monstrous. And what I want to say about it right now, let me just say this, and I'll close the book on Clemson. I never want to hear Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney's name mentioned in the same sentence about the best coach in college football. Yesterday put that to bed, that Kirby Smart is far superior than Dabo Swinney. His culture and how he does things is far superior than Dabo Swinney. And, I mean, you talk about that both of them coaches have 2 national championships. They do. I mean, you got to give Dabo your props on that. But as far as sustaining the program and adapting to where college football is now, not being stubborn and building your program to be winning championships, Kirby Smart's the pinnacle. And we saw where Dabo Swinney is measured up to that and Clemson's program is now. And there's a monstrous gap. There's a monstrous gap in the separation of the football programs in Clemson, South Carolina, and Athens, Georgia. And you couldn't say that a few years ago, but that's just where we've been over the past 3 years. We've been preaching it. We've been saying it, and the world knows it now, and the world saw it Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, the massacre that happened that kind of put the nail in the coffin of the Dabo Swinney dynasty in Clemson. It showed it, Clark. And I've been perusing Clemson message boards, and I said the same thing. This right here was a wake-up to Dabo Swinney, and a humbling. It was a humbling experience for Dabo Swinney, and he's going to have to learn that if he's going to compete with where he has created his own success, where Clemson fans are going to measure in him, and that's going to be the best in the game, and that's in Athens, Georgia right now. He's got a long way to go and a lot to adapt to, and a lot of pride to swallow, and either that or take an early retirement, just ride out in the sunset. And I think he's thinking a lot, and a lot of people in this corner are kind of. Yeah, I mean, a lot of tough conversations in Clemson, South Carolina today. I love it. And inject it right here in this vein.
I wonder what Tyler from Spartanburg is thinking.
I love it, man. I love it. We knew it. We said it. But no, just don't compare Georgia and Clemson's programs anymore. It's being on the same level.
I love it. All right, this upcoming Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee Tech, Adam.
Yeah, love it. Let's go.
I have zero
Home
notes.
Opener. I do.
I'm glad you do, but this is the only note I have.
Yeah, give it to us.
So we met in 2009.
Yeah, terrible year. Horrible
Awful
year.
for Georgia football. 38-0. That was maybe a highlight of the year.
Sounds like Joe Cox had a day.
He had his way with Tennessee Tech.
I was at that game, but
You don't
I
even
can't say I
remember.
remember too much about it, but I'm sure Joe Cox just had a field day. Logan Gray probably returned a punt or two, got in there, had some time at quarterback as well, man. I mean, Rontavious Wooten probably caught a pass or two.
Was he there in 2009?
Rontavious Wooten was there. A.J. Green, of course, he was there.
Wait. Rontavious Wooten was there in 2009. I know because he was there in 13. So then did he redshirt or something?
Yeah. He was there in 09, wasn't he?
I don't know, man.
Wasn't he?
I know for a fact he was there in 10, 11, 12, 13.
Because I want to say he played Rontavious Wooten. Sorry. But yeah, he probably had a big day. Brandon Boykin probably had a big day. So, anyway.
So I'll let you look that up. 1943.
2009 to 2014.
Okay. So
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. He got injured, you remember? And had a medical
That's
deal.
right.
One of them.
That's
yeah.
right.
So
Okay.
that was his freshman year.
Well, 2009, 38-0. And then 1943, we just made a statement.
That's
we
good.
said, we're not letting Tennessee
The
Tech
boys
come
from Cookville are not coming to Athens and whooping up on us.
Right. 1943, we beat them 67-0. I think we're going to see kind of a similar result to that this year, but we'll see. So, Adam, give us a little bit of your napkin notes. What you got on your napkin note?
I really want to just talk about this. Tennessee Tech's in Cookeville, Tennessee. They're in the Ohio Valley Conference Division I FCS. Clark, to me, it really seems like they're trying to change the culture up there in Cookeville. I mean, they let go of their last coach, Dwayne Alexander. He's now the offensive line coach and former SEC member Sewanee, the School of the South. It used to be a charter member of the SEC, no longer in the SEC, of course. But Dwayne went to Sewanee, left the program after a 20-43 overall record. Last year, they went 4-7 in the Ohio Valley. But Tennessee Tech's brass said, "Hey, we got to cut bait. It's time to really pour some money into the program." So they went out and they hired former Old Dominion head coach for a decade with a 77-56 overall record, Mr. Bobby Wilder. Mr. Bobby Wilder, Robert S. Wilder.
What a guy.
And if you look at this picture of him, Clark, he's confident. He's a well-dressed man.
Yeah.
If you see the picture we're looking at, if you're going to post it, on the YouTube video, he's wearing one of those hats like a gangster mobster would in the 1920s in New York,
A fedora.
He'd be, he'd probably have a Tommy machine gun too, smoking a cigarette. So that's what he looks like. He looks like he is a member of the Italian mob. Per se. So, yeah, I mean, Bobby Wilder now has not coached in 5 years, Clark. He's took a 5-year hiatus from the college game. His last coaching experience is when he got ran out of Old Dominion. The Monarch fan base let him go after a long stint there, and he's took 5 years off, but he's fresh. His batteries are recharged, and he's in Cookeville, Tennessee. They are building a 40,000 square foot practice facility.
Wow.
With a new recreation center and new weight room. And a couple years ago, they added a new jumbotron to the stadium. So really big things happening there. So they're pretty excited about this matchup. Coming to Georgia, get paid $1 million. They're starting to take football seriously in Cookeville. They're really trying to, and I respect that, Clark. They're trying to really right the ship and get things turned around up there for the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles and get competitive in the Ohio Valley.
So does this scare you, Adam, about this upcoming matchup this Saturday?
No, it doesn't. Nah, but I tip my hat to them. Because you got something fresh going there. There's a lot of hope. We talk about hope, and hope is in Cookeville right now.
Well, good.
They're changing the culture up there. Bobby's building it brick by brick. They like to say that up there in Tennessee. New head coaches up there taking over programs. So Bobby is trying to put his stamp on the program. So this is I would say, probably Tennessee Tech, and the message that Bobby's going to have to the Golden Eagle team and fan base this week is this is going to be a small step to get where we want to be. We're going to face adversity. This week we're going to learn how do we handle getting punched in the mouth? How do we handle adversity? And that's going to make us better. They lost a heartbreaker to Derek Mason's Middle Tennessee State Blue Raider football team in Murfreesboro this past Saturday, 32-25. A lot of fight there. Honestly, Tennessee Tech probably shouldn't have been in that ball game. So that tells me that this team is bought into the new culture and program that Coach Wilder has established there. So, it's going to be a hungry group. I guess it's a long way of saying there's going to be a hungry group of Golden Eagles coming into Sanford Stadium on Saturday at 2 p.m. And you got to respect where they're trying to take the program. And I want Bulldog fans to know that. That's what we're looking at. And just two notes on two players.
Okay.
I'm going to highlight their leading passer,
All right.
And their leading rusher in Murfreesboro last Saturday night against the Blue Raiders in Middle Tennessee. Okay. Mr. Jordan Pitts was 27 for 38 for 256 yards passing. Okay.
All right.
And Jalen Mitchell was their leading rusher, toting the rock 11 times for a whopping 52 yards.
Man, that's elite.
So that's who we need to look out for.
I like it, Adam.
So
great report there, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family game, Clark. It's a family game. You know, we talk about family games, and I would encourage everybody, 2 p.m. kick, not a late kick. Get the kids up, get grandma up, load them up, get a biscuit, get some lunch, and go make a memory. Make a memory. Go make a memory. Go make a memory. Go make a memory at the home opener this Saturday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be hot. So hydrate.
Oh, it'll
get grandma and the kids out there and go make a memory and get you a photo and record it, man.
Go to the dog walk.
And go to the dog walk, man. Get the kids out there early and go line up and see if they could get a high five for some of the Georgia players and just really get juiced about it. And so this should be a game that's kind of calm, cool, and collected. Shouldn't see some rowdy stuff that you wouldn't want your young kids to see. So
wait a minute now. Hold up now. Don't underestimate Georgia fans for being obnoxious. Now, I know, I understand. Yeah. Well, here's the reason I say that, because this will be the first game in Georgia football history where beer, alcohol will be sold in the stadium.
That is true. Hey, but with that point being said, you might have some folks who are sitting a row in front of you miss half the game because they will be in the beer line.
That's true.
So it could add for your child to have a better view because the seats in front of you will be vacant over half the game because a lot of the patrons at the game will be, watching about 2 quarters of football and then probably spending about 2 quarters in line for buying $15 beers.
Or in the bathroom.
Yeah. So there you go.
Good stuff. Well, that's kind of our scouting report.
Yes.
Hey,
ready to go.
Stay healthy, everybody.
That's right.
Including the players.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
It's going to be a hot one, but it's going to be a fun one.
It'll be fun. Well, let's talk about last week's games a few more.
Give it to me, baby.
And then we'll talk about some games this upcoming week. So last week, we saw Penn State at West Virginia. Didn't even watch a snap of this football, but Penn State did go into Morgantown, beat them 34-12.
Neil Brown's a dead man walking.
Okay.
Dead man walking. Not a good start for his West Virginia club. Kind of one of those dead man walking coaches. And usually when you're a dead man walking coach, it doesn't work out good for you.
True. Well, talking about another dead man walking, Billy Napier got his tail whooped this Saturday. Miami at Florida, 41-17 beat down in the Swamp. And us as Georgia fans, we absolutely love to see it. We don't feel bad for Florida.
No, we don't.
We do want, you said it in Sunday school this morning, give Billy Napier a 10-year extension on his contract.
I did. Good man.
We love him.
Good man. Keep him in Gainesville. That's the kind of a guy like Dabo Sweeney. And Billy Napier is who you want, taking care of your kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about winning football games?
I'm sure Billy Napier, like Dabo Sweeney, they care an awful lot about graduation rates.
Yeah, they do. Well, actually, those two do not like each other one bit. They hate each other,
hilarious.
actually, which is funny. But yeah. I mean, graduation rates is what really Florida and Clemson needs to be focusing on. And as long as Billy Napier and Dabo and some of these guys are making life winners off the field by graduation rates and getting their hotel management degrees and whatnot, Clark, then they should keep them there, keep them employed. And who cares about winning football games? Not a big deal. Nobody should focus on that. So that's why Billy needs to stay in Gainesville. But in all seriousness, I would have loved to have had a camera on Steve Spurrier in his suite watching this game.
That would have been sweet.
I would have loved it because you know that he is not a fan of Miami because of the 90s and when he was at Florida. So to see them come into Ben Hill Griffin Stadium and beat them 41-17 was glorious. Also, Katie Turner would love to talk to that young lady today and the fact of just saying, hey, do you regret your life decision leaving Athens, Georgia in the recruiting department in Athens? Easy. I mean, it almost sells itself, right?
Yeah.
And what Kirby Smart has to go to Gainesville willingly. She went to Gainesville, and then I saw a video clip that just made my day even more. I mean, it's just ice. It was the cherry on top, The chef's kiss, per se, Clark, was Katie trying to get all the Miami players away from the Florida section because all the Miami players were coming saying to come to the U after beating them 41-17 on their home field, and all the Florida players were laughing. So that made young Katie's day just even worse, trying to, because bless her heart, I mean, her boss isn't making it easier on her. I mean, for what she needs to do, you need to have some on-field success, right?
Yeah.
You got to have a good culture, right, Clark? So, yeah. So she left Athens to go jump into that cesspool.
Man. I feel
Had a
bad
rough
for her,
day
but then
yesterday.
again,
I don't. The young
That's
lady
harsh.
knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Knew what she was doing.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Cam Ward looked really good yesterday. Miami, that might be a team right there. Now, granted, they were playing not a great Florida team, I'd say. Respectable, maybe.
Respectable.
Even that's hard to say.
Yeah.
Notre Dame at Texas A&M, 23-13. Notre Dame pulls it off in College Station. I didn't watch too much of this game, honestly, because I was dog dead tired. I fell asleep halfway through.
Yeah.
And I just didn't care enough to watch the end of it.
Right,
So,
right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't really have any comment on this. Good job, Marcus Freeman, beating
Very
Elko.
boring game to watch.
It was.
Not really impressed with either program, but yeah, whatever.
Good on them. Sunday, which is today, which is tonight, actually, USC is playing LSU. We don't know the outcome of that game. We also don't know the outcome of Boston College at FSU, which is tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So you guys do, we don't. But let's move to this week's pick'em here.
Yes, sir.
We've got some fun ones. Number 4, Texas favored 6.5 at number 9, Michigan, 12 o'clock, Fox. Big noon kickoff.
Big noon kickoff, Clark. The biggest game of the week. Not a lot of great games next week, but football's football. We love it. Yeah. So I will let you pick first, Clark. Who are you going with?
Texas is favored, Adam, but this is tricky here.
At the big house.
At the big house. I don't know much about Michigan this year. I watched them struggle against Fresno State. I'd like to think that they're probably thinking ahead to Texas. I'm going to give Michigan the benefit of the doubt, and I'm actually going to take Michigan to win by 2 points.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with Texas, Clark. I think they're going to go up there, Quinn Ewers, because they have a quarterback who has been on the road before, not bringing in somebody new. I think he'll handle the environment in Ann Arbor, and I think it'll be a close game, but Texas pulls away and wins by about 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
10, 14 points.
It'll be a fun game to watch, that's for sure.
Yep.
Iowa State at number 25.
The Cy-Hawk Trophy, baby.
Yeah, number 25, Iowa. Iowa's favored by 2.5 points, 3:30 CBS.
That's sad.
That's sacrilegious that we just did
I'm
that.
sure Gary Danielson's just juiced about this one.
The Cy-Hawks Trophy, you're right, Adam. I'm picking Iowa just because I
Phil
like
Parker's
the colors.
defense.
Yeah. Give me the defense, a slugfest of a defensive battle. I think the under is like the over-under is 36. That's the line. That's amazing.
Yeah. Matt Campbell, man, I don't understand him. When his stock was high, I thought he should have left and upgraded and went and grabbed a bag somewhere else.
Yeah.
But right now it just seems like his stock is plummeting at Iowa. But hey, maybe he's a family guy who just loves being in Ames, Iowa. Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so whatever, maybe not a lot of pressure there, whatever, no fault in that. But give me Kurt Ferentz, Clark. Who was suspended last week against Illinois State. Kurt Ferentz, the bad boy of the NCAA coaches now.
Yeah.
Grandfather Kurt got suspended last week, so Kurt's going to come out with some vengeance.
What did he do?
A recruit violation. Got him a game, man. Got him a game.
All right.
Suspension. Had to watch Iowa play from the couch for the first time this millennium.
Yeah.
She's been there forever since the Vietnam War. but anyway, Kurt's coming out with a vengeance. He's back. He is going to just leash fury and everything else on Matt Campbell's Iowa State team. His son's no longer the OC. They roll in Des Moines. They're going to wave at the children. Everybody's going to be excited. They'll wave at the children again after the game because they beat their rivals big.
All right. SEC battle right here. South Carolina at Kentucky. Kentucky favored by 9.5 at home. 3:30 ABC.
Interesting.
Ooh, this is going to be a fun game.
Always love Stoops versus Beamer.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so fun. It's like being a fifth grader and watching first graders fight.
Yeah. On the playground.
Yeah. Just entertain.
That is that's a great analogy, by the way. I saw South Carolina play. Did you last night?
Yeah,
against Old Dominion.
I did. It was great. It was great.
Oh,
Shane
my
Beamer.
gosh.
I love that he can't hide his emotion, and he knows he's a dead man walking.
He's a dead man walking. Are you sure?
I mean, yeah, just because it's South Carolina, they might not fire him this year, but they'll fire him next year because it's inevitable that he's not going to have that magic that he had in the end of the 2022 season for like 3 games ever again. He's riding off 2 games, actually just 2 games. He's riding off that Tennessee and Clemson game because they got beat by Notre Dame in the bowl game to really just mess up the storybook ending of the 2022 Gamecock season. I think he is done. He is done.
So who do you
Without
like in
a
this
doubt, he is
matchup?
done. I like Mark Stoops, man. The Kentucky Wildcats at home. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, they look. I saw a couple plays from the Kentucky game. Vandergriff, I think, looked pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he got delayed. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll take Kentucky in a 17-point victory, actually. South Carolina looked horrible.
My microphone fell off.
Adam's microphone fell off.
It just fell. I don't know if I did it or if it just fell, but it's gone.
No, we've.
That poor microphone and stand has been through it over the past 3 years.
There we go.
It's been through it. God bless.
Because you move it so much, it unscrews. Just
I
like
have to buy you another one for the
No,
set.
no.
Because I just love
it's just like
yeah.
millimeters.
I got you. Well, I won't touch it. It'll be good.
It's all right. All right, moving on. The next game on our pick'em, number 15 Tennessee versus NC State, number 24. I guarantee they're going to drop out of the top 25.
Yeah,
the way they looked against Western Kentucky. 7:30 ABC in Charlotte. Tennessee faithful are fired up about this game because they feel like this is truly just a huge matchup for them, and it's kind of hilarious because NC State really is not that good.
No, they're not. They're not.
They proved that this year. And Tennessee, they put a beating on the Chattanooga Mocs. They are riding high on that victory.
Yeah.
They love Nico. They love
Josh
Heupel.
Heupel. I mean,
they are just juiced about this game. And quite honestly, they ought to beat NC State by 21 points. Give me Tennessee big and let them keep thinking there's something else till they come into Sanford Stadium. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Give me Tennessee winning. A lot of excitement up there. Whatever. Who cares? Josh Heupel. It'll be fun watching him get dumped with mayo.
Oh, yeah. That will be fun to see.
Actually, I don't know if they do it the regular season, the kickoff classic, but I think we should advocate for Josh Heupel getting a bowl of mayonnaise dumped on him.
Dang. We could have seen Kirby Smart.
That's just the bowl. That's right. So, yeah, Tennessee winning that game.
And then last game on our pick 'em here, Colorado at Nebraska.
Oh, old-time rivalry right here,
7:30 NBC.
Yeah.
Did you watch Colorado last week?
I did, man. I pulled against them the whole way. I was big Bison fan that night for North Dakota State. I do not like Colorado. Don't like the program. Travis Hunter is a man. I mean,
he's a dude.
And Shadir Sanders is better than I actually thought he would turn out to be. And but I'm not a Deion fan. I'll go ahead and make that known in public. And but I'm not a Dylan Raiola fan at Nebraska either, Clark, with Matt Rule. So this is tough. I think Nebraska's going to win.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, and Nebraska fans are going to be rowdy, man. Feeling like it's 1995 again.
Give me Nebraska, too. You
got me. Feeling like it's 1995 again, a night game over there in Lincoln. They're going to be juiced.
They will.
They hate Colorado. They're going to feel like it's 95 again. A lot of people are going to break out and it might still be a little bit chilly in Nebraska. Those bomber jackets from 95, the starter jackets that have the weird like it's Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
Right.
The pattern, the pattern he's got on the back of his guitar.
Yep.
It's going to have an old school Nebraska jacket on with that. They're going to break those bad boys out. I can see 1995 again up there in Lincoln.
Yeah, that will be a fun game to watch. Like you said, it's an old rivalry game, so be a good nightcap for us there.
That's right.
All right. Hey, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done that. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Helps our numbers here. We're getting closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's going to help us maybe potentially earn ad revenue. I don't know. And when I say that, I think you at the very beginning, you have a 5-second ad and you just click away. But it will give us a couple dollars in the bank.
Every little bit helps, man.
It sure does. But once again, we thank y'all for listening and for the support.
Yeah.
Adam, Georgia versus Tennessee Tech, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 2 o'clock is a weird time for a kickoff. And I don't like it.
It is. I don't like it either.
I'd honestly rather have a noon kickoff.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I think the Dawgs absolutely steamroll the poor Golden Eagles this week. 56-0, 8 straight touchdowns as shutout. Goose
Love
egg.
it, baby.
And hey, if you're watching this game, I think it's on
This is
ESPN
the
Plus.
paywall.
This is the paywall game.
This is the this is the paywall game. So this means make it a family game, man. Get online, kind of Wednesday, check for some tickets. Should get some rather affordable tickets, man, to take the family to Sanford Stadium and have a day watching the Dawgs roll on Cloud 9. You need to come see this Georgia football team this year because it's going to be special, and you need to say that you've seen them in person, Clark.
Right.
So, hey, you're going to have to pay either way if you want to watch the game, so might as well go watch it in person.
Very true. Adam, it's been a great episode. Let's wrap it up.
All right, man. Well, yeah, I mean, Georgia did what they had to do yesterday against Clemson. What we wanted them to see, not only made a statement, but told the world that it's going to be another year of Georgia domination, that they're not going anywhere. Personally, just another program broken, Clark. Another program where the head coach after the game was speechless and really had nothing much to say except just compliment Georgia because you're just shell-shocked. You were shell-shocked. Kirby left another head coach shell-shocked, and that's not going to be the last one this year. Another special year of Georgia football on the horizon. Enjoy this family game. Georgia will roll Saturday afternoon. I'm going to beat you 66-0. One more touchdown and a Peyton Woodson field goal. Going to be a fun day in Athens. Hopefully no injuries. Fingers crossed, no injuries, man. Let some starters get in there and have a good first half, and then let's get some young guys some experience in the second half and let them roll and execute the playbook. Everybody get to Athens on Saturday. I'll see y'all there. Come see us, Section 108, Row 60. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Baby.
Oh, my voice.